Lesson 50, multi-step equations. So if you remember, we talked about when we want to solve an equation, it's like using a scale where we want to keep it balanced all the time. So the first step that we want to make sure we do is we want to combine any like terms that may be on either side of the equal sign. And then we want to isolate the variable by using inverse operations. And you're going to use, you're going to do those inverse operations in the reverse order of the please excuse my dear Aunt Sally or PEMDAS. So we want to reverse addition and subtraction first, then we'll reduce the multiplication and division, then we'll reverse our exponents, and then we'll reverse our parentheses. So third step is we have to remember, and this isn't a step, but we have to remember as we are solving and trying to isolate the variable that what you do on one side of the equal sign, let's see, on only doesn't have an E. So what you do on one side of the equal sign, you have to do on the other side, and that's what we talked about before to keep the scale balance. So the opposite or the reverse order of PEMDAS is SADMEP. Oops, it's SADMEP. So let's look at an example here. We want to solve for x. 3x plus 9 equals 24. So we're going to do the inverse operations of adding and subtracting. So we find our x, here it is, on the left side. We're adding 9, so we want to do the opposite of add 9, which is subtract 9. 9 minus 9 is 0, so on the left side we're only left with 3x, and 24 minus 9 is 15. So we did subtraction and addition, now we're doing division or multiplication. So we look at our x, it's being multiplied by 3, so we do the inverse of multiply, which is divide by 3. So we're going to divide both sides, what you do on one side you have to do on the other, by 3. 3x divided by 3 is just x, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. Now we can check our work by taking what we got for x and plugging it back into the original equation. So we want to see is 3 times 5 plus 9 equal to 24. And we're going to test that out. So we have 15 plus 9. It does equal 24. So our solution, x equals 5, is correct. Okay, we're going to do another example. Solve 2/3 y plus 1/2 equals 5/6. So we're going to do the reverse order of PEMDAS. We're going to do the inverse operations of subtraction and adding. Since this is added, we're going to subtract 1/2 from both sides. Oh, we need to get a common denominator. So we're going to change that to 6. 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 3. So it's 3/6. So over here, 1/2 minus 1/2 is 0. So we're left with 2/3 y on that side of the equal sign. And on the right side, 5/6 minus 3/6 is 2/6, or 1/3. Now we are multiplying by a fraction, and I don't know if you remember that if you're multiplying by a fraction, you can multiply both sides by the reciprocal. So when you divide by 2/3, it's the same thing as multiplying by 3/2. And keep it, change it, flip it. So 3/2 times 2/3 is 6/6, which is 1y. 1/3 times 3/2, we can cancel the 3's, and we get y equals 1/2. Then we're going to come over and we're going to check our work. So is 2/3 times 1/2 plus 1/2, is that equal to 5/6? So we want to test that out. So 2/3 times 1/2 is 2/6. 1/2 is 3/6. And that does equal 5/6. So our solution, y equals 1/2, is correct. Okay, we're going to do one more example. Solve -2x plus 5 plus x equals 9. Now we want to remember to combine like terms. So if you can see there's an x, a -2x, we're going to circle with the sign, and we have a plus x, so with the sign. So we have -2x, and we're going to add 1x. So this is like we owe 2 x's, and we have 1, so we're going to owe 1x. Plus 5 equals 9. So we're going to subtract 5 from both sides, and we get a -x equals 4. Now notice that this -x, that means -1x. So we're going to divide both sides by -1. That will give us a +1. And so +1 times x will be x. 4 divided by a -1 is -4. So we're going to check our answer. We have -2 times -4 plus 5 plus a -4 equals 9. So this would be a +8 plus 5 plus a -4. Does that equal 9? We're trying to test it out. 8 plus 5, so we have to start at the left and add left to right. So 8 plus 5 is 13. Plus a -4, which is kind of like saying -4, or 13 has more. So positives have more by 9. So 9 equals 9, and it is correct. And that's the end of the lesson.